My name is Teresa Lockwood. I reside in Vineland, New Jersey, and I'm going to talk about step parents, stepmom, stepdad. Okay, and I just got done listening to this woman who was talking about her being a step parent. It was really messed up. So I don't know. I would say it was like commendable that she admitted, like, her um uh I don't know how to explain it. Her I guess failures of being a step parent. Okay, I mean, I guess in some way, somebody has like some story about not how do I say this, um about all their mess ups. We'll say as being a parent, all the mistakes they made and all these other things or whatever. And this is what I told my son. There's no manual that you can go by. You learn on the way, right? And everyone is going to be unique. There's like going to be some, like, same things that you encounter and deal with in raising a child. But the thing is my focus is on the interaction of step parents. I believe, regardless of what people's story is in regards to, they had, a wonderful step parent that they just love dearly. I'm not speaking against you loving somebody or needed the nurturing that, somebody gave to you, that you may not have gotten from a parent, or somebody, um, that you just bonded with. Maybe your parent was like, um neglectful, like in emotional nourishing, I'm sorry, nourishing, and you know um and things like that. So this is the thing. um Look, I mean, I've had experiences where, I mean, I was an adopted child. Okay, and I was abandoned by my adopted parents. Now, actually, it was through deception by the nonchalant mother who deceived the situation. So it wasn't always the adopted dad's, fault. So I'm sorry. Um, During most of my young childhood, my adopted dad worked two jobs. Okay, and to provide for five children. Okay, believe that he did the best he could do. He was never like aggressive or hardly even assertive, except for just like few times where he just like kind of, push that out or whatever. And I could, recall on a few occasions. But I want to talk about them, but I don't want to make this video about that. But the thing is, during that time, I actually had somebody else who was more closer to a dad. He was like the brother-in-law to my adopted mother's so-called mother. Um, and I was actually closer to him than I was actually my adopted dad. Now, the thing is, at that time, as a child, before like around, 8, 9 years old, I actually thought they were my real parents. So I just want to let you know that. Um, and during that time, there was like, my adopted mother was like nonchalant, like she was unaffectionate. She wasn't aggressive, or she was just, very just separated. So didn't really engage much with us or whatever. So I mean, there was some interactions or whatever, but we did things as a family. It was more under my adopted dad's, direction or whatever. And so the thing is that, so I mean, I have that where it was just like I clung on to like my adopted mother's like sister and her husband. So it would be Aunt Diane and Uncle John. And like we played with their kids, and it was just like they were like our brothers and sisters, so our cousins through adoption. Now I just want to our my adopted parents, who I thought were my real parents, they actually, there was three of us who were the oldest, okay, and then actually they had two biological children after that, okay. So the thing is that we often went over like almost every day to the aunt and uncle's house. And so it was just like one big family. Like, I mean, our cousins were like our brothers and sisters. Okay. So, I mean, we all played together, did all these things together or whatever. And so forth. So the thing is that, I'm not like, it's not that I don't understand when somebody clings to somebody else as their parent. Okay. So I was very interactive with my aunt the most. I mean, I used to do her hair like almost all the time. She had this beautiful red hair, right? So like that orange red hair is very thick, and I remember actually learning how to French braid on her hair. So I saw it, and I remember even the day, and I remember that exact moment actually where she came over, and she actually sat in my dad's chair. And those times, I don't know if they have how they have it like in these days, but I think they do. I mean, I've seen like different things, and there's talk about it where there's like the man of the house has their man chair. It's their chair. So, but that was a thing when I was child, where it was just like, even if I went to somebody's house, there was like the dad had their own chair. So I still don't get it. So the thing is that it was made known that that's their chair. So the thing is that I remember, and she came over, and I saw this um French braid. I remember asking, about it, and they said it was a French braid. It was like this. I remember this girl. She was like a little older than me or what have you. So, I mean, I saw it. So, I remember that exact moment where, I want to learn how to French braid on your hair. So, so I actually learned, and she would like come over, and I would actually learn how to French braid, and actually did it just by, yeah, seeing it or whatever. And I was pretty good. I did it. So, the thing is, yeah, that wasn't, something, that was, um, yeah, no, I didn't get anything like that. My adopted mother was not good at like the whole hair thing. Yeah, I got one of those things where I had the elastic like rubber bands put in my hair, and like things sticking out. I have a picture of it actually. Hair pieces sticking out at the top, and crooked bangs. So, excuse me. Anyway, so so the thing is yeah, yeah. Anyway, so I never did that to my aunt's hair though. So anyway, yeah. See, you know what? I don't know if I want to put all this in this video. I want to get to the principle of step parent. Look, there's I've seen a lot of situations where people have this step parent like later on in life, and I think it's really really messed up. Regardless, like I said, what story you have, your compassionate story to sit there and make your defense, or like I said, I'm not against basically somebody finding like that motherly thing in their in someone, or their fatherly um thing in where they didn't with somebody else that they did not have with like their parents. um I'm not I'm not speaking against that, okay. um this is a thing. I mean, I've actually encountered a number of children who have actually, I can particularly remember about 3 children who unfortunately said that they wanted me to be their mother. And of course, I was just like, and they were young. They were between, I think one of them was around 4 or 5. Then it was like 5, 6. They were around ages between 5, 6, and 7. Okay. And excuse me. And the thing is, the last one I remember, who said that to me, and I'm like, "You're gonna hurt your mommy's feelings." And I was just like, and I would relate or whatever to, um, that he was like, "Well, you're fun," and I was like, "That's because we're friends." It's like, your sister's fun, you know. I was like, "Do you love your sister?" Yeah, you know. So, it was just I had to put another relation, um, give them this other relation and try to build this relation with a mother. I actually was in a conflict with actually a mother, and I got really, really upset, because she was like hardly in their life, and I was wound up being like this full time nanny. And it's not like she was always working all the time or whatever. She just went out and looked for jobs. She had like short time jobs here or there or whatever. And the dad was a workaholic. I'm talking about, I mean, he worked from like, I mean, sun up to like, a midnight or whatever sometimes. And so there was, they always had babysitters. And the thing is, of course, yes, I am not just saying this because, it's me, but yes, I was the best babysitter. I'm just saying. And I'm thinking particularly on these children because people warned me not to babysit for them. They're like, they're deviants. They bite, they kick, they do all these things. I never had that problem with them. And I found out why, because I even said it. Because they would come up to me. It's like, well, how come you don't talk on the phone like such and such does? Well, how come you don't? And the thing is, it's like they were on this, babysitter TV nanny, which was I didn't believe in. I've seen that, and I've seen that before with other parents doing that, where they pop in a video for their kids to babysit their kids. I did not believe in that. So the thing is that, you know, I cut that down to like one video, before their nap time or something like that, or whatever the case may be. And like one video in the morning, I had to like gradually rechange the schedule and do things with these children. I had walk time. I made it very structured and, clean up time and, and I made it very fun for them. And it was just like engaging and, the thing is, it's just like the other babysitters just were not engaging. So the thing is that, there was like play outside time, there was, this time or whatever. And, I filled their day. So, nap time, of course, lunchtime, and all these things. Yes, and sometimes going into like dinner time and whatever the case may be. And I had to clean the house and do the laundry and do all these things also. Um, so I did that when they took the naps or whatever. And so I was just there all the time. So it became a thing where I felt very uncomfortable. It bothered me, and so I actually confronted, well, in different ways, their mother about it. And I remember we got into this big argument, and I'm like, your children need you. Okay. I was like, I love them. I love taking care of them. They are great. I said, but they need their mother. Like, she was avoidant of all these things. And there's other things involved in the argument and conversation or what have you. And it actually pained me more than anything for them wanting to call me mommy. Okay. And because it was just like why it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be that they want to call me mommy because their mommy was not there. And you know a lot of times she wasn't there. It wasn't because she was working or something. A lot of, sometimes she was, but like I said, she didn't hold a job for very long. But it would be anything, going out shopping, going out with her friends, whatever the case may be, to like events or whatever, whatever. And you know, um, yeah. So then there was another time. It's like kids in my neighborhood. I mean, my daughter would always bring some kid, treat them to me, or whatever the case may be, and my mommy will fix it. And I almost cried and there, but I don't want to do this video. I don't want to get into all this because I just wanted to stick to the basic principle of step parents. So I'm giving an understanding of um, finding nourishment in other people. Um, like I've experienced that from many different perspectives. Okay, from actually being a child, and basically children like coming to me and wanting to call me mom or whatever the case may be. And there are people and kids, excuse me, in the neighborhood where children will actually, sit there and call somebody else mom, their maybe their best friend's mom, they'll call mom, or, I don't know how I feel about that. I think my son's done it. Um, so I don't know. I can't remember if, other than that, I think there was one of his friends that did that. And I always had the same answer. I think that was like um, around 11 or something like that. And, I was just like, yeah, I think your mom won't be too happy about that, or it's just like, younger ones, I've said, you're going to make your mom sad. You just only have one mom, your special mom. So she's like, but you can be my mommy too. Not, no. So, yeah, the thing is, there was this interaction where, look, the reality is, when I was growing up and with my parents, and even watching like people with other children, a lot of people with other children, and growing up into adult life, even where people were not connected to their children, just like the people that I grew up with were disconnected, like affectionately, psychologically, emotionally, and all these things. And my dad was little, I guess. I mean, I do remember sitting, my adopted dad, I do remember sitting on his lap, right? And peeling glue off of his hands after work because he had a security job and he had a other job where he worked at a pool factory when he got glue on his hands all the time, right? And I would sit there and peel off the glue off his hands. So, that was pretty neat. I don't know why I was amazed by that, but the thing is that I used to watch him um, when he would clean, right? Yes, on a Saturday. On a Saturday, he didn't work on weekends, so we went to church every Sunday. And Saturday was cleaning day, and we were, we weren't allowed in the house when they cleaned. So I remember sitting, in front of the doorway, I think I've said this on another video. I'm not sure. I know I've said it, but I deleted videos. So, and he would have his, gospel country music playing, and his 8 tracks, okay, and his records. He had a lot of records, and he had one of those console, like from like the 80s, like 70s or whatever, his 8 track and console. He would be playing that, and so we weren't allowed in when they cleaned, so I would sit by the door on the porch. Well, it's just like a little concrete, pathway thing, and I would actually just sit outside and watch him clean, and be sitting there and polishing his console or whatever the case may be, the furniture and all these things. So, yeah, and whatever. So, those were actually very valuable times to me. So, um, I mean, when he was able to, like, he did a lot of things with us. He took us to the park and the zoo and, and all these things or whatever. And he was more engaging in a very little time he encountered us. And it was very, very memorable. It was like great, like it filled like everything else, Um, so, yeah, Fran wasn't as communicative. So he was a little, but he wasn't too much. He was like just one of those quiet, they were like quiet, people or whatever. But, he wasn't like, like too quiet, I mean, um, I remember actually all my siblings would actually be like, "Oh, he's doing that again. He's shaking it out, shaking people's hands." I thought it was amazing because I always sit next to the door, right? And the 5 of us in the station wagon. I sat next to the door. I remember watching him, and every time he get out, shake the hand of the gas station man, right? So, excuse me, but every time, oh, when's it gonna get out? So I'm just sitting there and I just watch him. So I thought it was amazing. So okay, I'm just gonna get into stories. And this is what I'm gonna do. So I might get back to this whole other step thing. Maybe I'll do a part 2. I'm not sure, but I want to go back to, because I keep reflecting on this time. I think I've mentioned a couple things in it or whatever in another video, but the thing is, I remember one time, like, he's work or whatever, and he would basically every once in a while, I don't know, like every couple of weeks or something, I think, would go out and like check the yard and or whatever the case may be, and he mowed it, like, had to mow it or whatever the case may be, and the thing is, I remember, well, apparently the yard was a mess one day. Yeah, I'll get out here and you clean this yard. Now, he didn't basically get, I said that in like a, probably uh, uh, an old woman's voice, I guess. I don't know. What is this? Get out here. Okay, there we go. What is, there, stuff is all over the place. So, this, you know what? Okay, I'm going to tell you this story, right? I have a scar on my finger. I actually don't know. I think this is actually part of it, but I don't have any remembrance of the other one. But there's a, I don't know if you can see it, but there is a scar on my finger. See it? and I believe there was a nerve sewed in it because when I hit it on a corner of something, it zings my whole finger or numbs it, and it's kind of like almost like a funny bone. Not quite. I mean, a funny bone is just it's not very funny. We all know that experience, right? So, but the thing is that yeah, it's like a scoop like this, and so I don't know if I can get it all on there. Alright, so I don't know if you see it. Camera's not that good, but anyway, there's another one like next to it that's like a strange scar, but I don't even remember that being cut. So, and I had clear images. It's just missing. I don't know. So anyway, the thing is, so he broke this bowl. I remember it was like one of those white, casserole type bowls, the blue little design on it, little flowery written design on it. And apparently it's just broken bowl because, all right, I'm gonna get to that story. I'm gonna get to another story, but he had a fit. I mean, he didn't really express his fits or whatever, but um, um, the thing is, it was just like, look, we got these dishes. Excuse me, I gotta scratch my eye. Okay, I'm gonna jump to that, and then I'm gonna go back, right? Because I gotta tell the story, right? Apparently, somebody, I'm not really clear exactly who. It might have been like friend or a neighbor or something. But apparently, my brother told me that we had to dig a hole to China. I had no idea what China was. And I remember some of the statements about it. Like, so we got these he got these dishes and things, and we were using these to dig this hole. This hole was like a big, like a crater in our backyard, right? So this is around the time where my dad was hardly flipping out. He didn't really say much about it, but he's like, "What's going on here?" Type deal. And he didn't really yell at us or anything. He was never really assertive or aggressive or anything. So, but I can understand the shock from my perspective from like now. But so apparently we had no idea what China was, right? But we had to dig this hole. And this hole, we could run across the hole, and the hole was deep, like over above our heads, like well above our heads. That's how big it was. And we worked on it for quite a long time. So we would go out there and dig and dig. And my brother was always, when somebody told him something, he was like just persistent at doing something. So I remember asking, well, where's China? Where are we gonna get there, right? So apparently that was like a little cliche or something that somebody said. I never heard it. But that's the first time like I heard it, go dig a hole to China. I heard it later on in life, and I was just like, and I have to laugh. It's like, go and dig a hole to China. It means like get out of here type deal, I guess. Or go somewhere, go do something, okay? So, um, yeah, it was pretty well. I would have to say that we could run across it. Like he would be the one jumping into the hole or what have you. But there was this huge hole in the backyard, and I'm saying it had to been about. It kind of went like this, so I would have to say the top was maybe, I'm thinking maybe about 10 feet wide or something like that. But like I said, it was over our heads. So the height of children, what I saw, I mean, I don't know how far above our heads. So I'm thinking maybe it was probably about 5 feet. Okay. So we had this big hole in the back of our yard. And on top of that, there was like this mowed section. Um, and I remember asking Dad not to cut that part. That was, that that deep, dark green, soft grass. It's very cool. You love to lay in it. Like, it was like that. I remember it, right? And so he mowed the lawn one day and didn't finish. So this section, this strip, it was like a little, like a long strip with a little piece that went like this or whatever, and it grew tall, like really thick and tall. And we were playing it, just like hiding it, roll around in it, whatever the case may be. And so then I remember that day, and so he was going to mow it. No, don't mow it. He's like, well, help me clean up this mess. So the thing is there was this broken bowl, right? Now we had woods around us, so I was like, well, there's a broken bowl. What do I do with it? Throw it over the fence. I threw it over the fence, and so it's just like, yeah, the white casserole bowl, and I walk over to the end of the fence. We had a pretty big yard, walk over to the end of the fence, and I throw it in the woods, and I cut my finger, and so I'm bleeding, right? So it's like, okay, honey, he used the honey word a lot. Okay, honey. So when what he did, look, so he took my hand, right? Everything he did was weird. Like, his dippiness was weird. He was dippy, right? So he took my hand, and I remember he's like, hold it over the sink, and he holds my hand under the sink and turns on the water. Sorry. And so he runs water on it, and my skin is like, flopping up and down. I'm like, it's going up and down. It's going up and down, right? He's like, oh, honey, I think you need stitches. What do you mean? Oh my goodness. Well, I laughed too much in the last couple of days, like hysterically. So I'm just happy. And this cat, I think this actually more happened since this kitten came in here. I've been laughing like hysterically since this kitten came in here. This has nothing to do with the kitten, but I'm just saying. It's really strange how much I've been laughing in the last, like, few days, which I do not do. I mean, I can laugh over a video or whatever the case may be, or something, or here or there, but I've been laughing a lot lately. I don't know. It's really strange. Yeah, crying a lot lately too. So, anyway, the thing is that, yeah, so I wound up getting the stitches, and I remember going to school, right? And I had my finger wrapped, my middle finger, like, all, like, bandaged up, right? So I'm walking around like this with my finger, and I had this kid make fun of me in school. Now, the thing is, I couldn't write now in school, so they actually had to get somebody to help me write, actually, or write some things. So I had to actually learn how to write some things with my left hand, which, no, I can't. I still can't do that. Okay, I think I did do it a little bit better then, but some things. But the thing is that so they had to get somebody in to actually write some things for me. And I be in school, and I'm sitting there, and some kid said, she gave me the middle finger. Sitting there with my finger out, right? Now, I had no idea what that meant. Now, this was actually when I was in a public school. I was in a private school, like, a lot of the times, but sometimes I was in a public school. I gotta get something to drink. Okay. So this was at the time that I was in a public school, and I had no idea what they meant by that. And but I remember the teacher saying something. It was like, well, she can't help it because her finger is bandaged or what have you. And so anyway, the thing is that yeah. So Yeah, that's how I got that scar. And I let me just okay. This turned into a memory thing. Look, I'm gonna sit there and tell you about the scar on my lip. I have a scar on my lip. Hold on. I don't know. Wait, you can probably see a lump there. There's a scar and there's a lump there, right? So look, we were pretty funny kids when I was a kid. Um, so when I got my split my finger open, this was when we moved to Georgia. I was in Georgia. When I hit my lip, I believe that I was in New Jersey. So I had to have been like about 4, maybe going into 5 or something like that. Okay. So this is a true story, right? So there's 5 of us siblings. Yes, I have to say that because it's not going to sound like probably it might not sound real to some people. So we're 5 siblings. You ever hear the story where it says 5 little monkeys jumping on the bed, one fell off? All right, so yeah, so you know where this is going, right? So we were playing 5 little monkeys jumping on the bed because there's 5 siblings, there's 5 of us, right? Well, one fell off. That would be me. And busted her lip. I remember the bedpost. It was one of those round wooden dark bedposts that had like, it was just sitting on the end or what have you. And I remember that felt like too. I went over, bloop, 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 done, what have you. Next I remember is that there was a green thing, like I guess it's a surgical cloth, okay, that was over my face, okay. And I don't know if I was knocked unconscious or I just don't have memory of it because I was so young. So, but this is all I remember. So, the thing is that, so I may or may not have been knocked unconscious. I don't remember it. So I was so young. I was about like maybe 4 going to 5 maybe. I think we moved to Georgia when I was 5. So the thing is I remember it. I remember the room to being dark for some reason too. Not like dark, the lights are off, but you know. So the thing is that yeah, I just remember being in the hospital bed and they had that green surgical mat cloth over you with like a hole cut out. I guess you know. I guess to stitch up my mouth. So yeah, so I had stitches in my mouth and yeah. So how'd I get into all that? I don't know. Maybe I should just turn this video into memories. uh, you know, um, I have a lot of good memories as a child until I was abandoned. I was abandoned by these adoptive parents. Now the thing is, my dad did not know. He was told and manipulated, deceived. The whole family was lied to, and apparently that's how this cult actually got to my brother and got my brother. But they convinced my adopted dad to look for work in New Jersey, or moved down to Georgia. And we lived in Jersey first, in Howell, New Jersey. Then we moved down to Georgia. So when I was around 4 or 5, moved down to Georgia. We lived a couple places in Georgia. So we were in Georgia. My brother disappeared. My adopted dad disappeared, and then I was abandoned to like their grandparents, who were foster children, as a foster child. So the thing is that how do I say this? Uh, there So he was lied to. I didn't find out years later that he actually did not know that I was abandoned to New Jersey. Okay, I found that out when I was around like 25 or something like that. He just didn't know. But I mean, I was kind of separated like completely after that, even though I was basically was given back to the adoptive mother. So, you know what? This story went into I just had connections to like these memories. I just had to talk about funny things in life. So I'm actually going to put it on another video. I don't know if I might not. I don't know if I'm going to upload this. I might. I think I am. Yeah, I will. I'm not really sure.